at 5:30, we are looking at another milestone for this community. It's been 50 years since the beginning of court-ordered busing in Jefferson County.
September 4th, 1975, that was the first day of school back then. It was met with rock throwing, the National Guard, protests across the community, coverage in film by WHAS TV reporters and the Courier Journal.
And joining us is the award-winning director of photography for the Courier Journal, Michael Clevenger.
He's been with the Courier Journal nearly 30 years now. And Michael, you bring with us some of the archives. Let's start right away. A photograph that caught everybody's attention so many years ago. Your photographers were all over the place.
Yeah, it was an amazing period of time. What I love about the archive, the Courier Journal archive from that period of time, the photographic archive, is that there are, the entire city of Louisville, the state of Kentucky is documented, not just with words, but with photographs.
We do want to put the photos up on the screen right away, and you can talk directly to them coming up here.
Yeah, it's wonderful document. This image, so many of the images you saw coming out of the protest were from either downtown Louisville or the South End. That first one you saw was right there in St. Matthews, right at the malls area.
There it is.
And it was fascinating because I've never seen that photograph before.
KKK in that group.
Yeah, it was very difficult. And really, this picture's been around for a while, and I've seen this one, but I think I didn't have an understanding how many people were always kind of in that protest group, always trying to make their voices heard. You know, it's fascinating to kind of look back.
Okay, and this one is from the State Fairgrounds. This one we're looking at now.
That's right. It's a Michael Kors photograph, and I hadn't seen this one either until I went digging in the archives. But just to see this, it kind of goes back to the number of people who were involved, the number of people who were always interested in kind of making their voices heard.
This is where the state fair is held.
Correct.
And every face in there is white.
Yep. It's a hard look at what was going on, and I think what was surprising was the quantity of people who were coming out to these events. And this one at the fairgrounds doesn't really take you any other direction but that. There's a lot of people there.
Wow. All right, if we can take a look at the next one. This one's a state police officer on the bus with school children. It kind of just brings you into that time and what it must have felt like for those kids.
Truly, because when you look at this, it's a Keith Williams photograph, and it's jarring. It's jarring that the school children were riding the bus with necessary protection on the bus. It's hard to fathom. It was hard to. When I look at this photo from Keith, the storytelling behind that image and the ability to kind of show that situation for our school kids at the time. Was fascinating to me.
You've got another part of the collection here coming up. This one is probably one of the most famous.
Yeah.
That's Mark Stewart there in the desk.
Yeah. Michael Kors shot this photograph on the first day of school. And, I think when I've talked about the other photographs in the context of this one, everything else that went on around the school was loud. The protests were loud. The rallies were loud. The voices were loud. What I loved about, two things I loved about that moment from Michael Kors was it was quiet. It was a quiet moment. But also, and I learned this from Tom Harden and Pat McDonough, who reminded me, it was also forward-looking.
This is Greenwood Elementary School.
Yes.
And Mark told me in an interview that he just, when he walked in, he saw him put his hand out right away, and he felt it was the natural thing to do and said, "Welcome to Greenwood."
The kids figure it out.
Yes.
The kids figure it out. And that's what I loved about that image is that with all the chaos going on, the broken windows of the bus, police officers riding the bus, the chaos, in the middle of all that is that one calm moment. But as I dug deeper, I found other calm moments. The little girl making the welcome sign. Another calm moment of, what is common, what was thought of. And that probably comes from the teachers who are on the front lines of that, who were helping people make that adjustment. And we forget about that sometimes. And so these images I like them because they kind of add some context and a little bit more breadth and depth other than the protest.
Yeah, it's just the kids teaching the adults. That's exactly what it says to me when I look at those pictures.
Right.
You know, and the reporters and photographers at the time were under attack. The reporters here, but Harbsmeyer always told me they were issued helmets by the Bingham family to wear when they went out and filmed the riots that we've been showing you. The same thing for the Courier Journal. I mean, this is right there by the Mall St. Matthew, this picture right there.
Yeah, it was very interesting. There were lots of difficult events like that. And you know what, I really didn't think I had the context of it until I went back and I looked deeper into it, how similar they were to what we saw in 2020 on the streets of Louisville. People trying to get their voices heard, people trying to get changes made that they either were for or against. And sometimes that people get violent when they have that kind of passion.
They're so powerful.
Yeah, they really are. And as a group, and I've got to say something really quick if I can, the Bingham fellows over at the archives at U of L really helped me expand that collection of busing images that you can find at courierjournal.com from about 50 to 150.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael. We appreciate you coming in, and you're here for a reason. That's because the Courier Journal and WHAS11 are teaming up for a community conversation on busing. It's going to be Wednesday, September 17th at 6 p.m. at the Academy at Shawnee High School. You are invited to attend. It's open to the public, and look back at history, examine where things stand now, and explore what's next for our kids.
And as part of the partnership, we will be streaming it live on our app, WHAS11 Plus.